Hey, how's everybody doing today? Well, I got two new laptops. So actually, a client previously, I'd worked on his laptop before, and there was no issues with his drive. So as you can see, it's an off-brand drive. So if it's going to have a problem, it's going to be an off-brand drive that's actually causing the problem. This is a 4 terabyte drive. Now he opted to go with the cheaper option. I had a 128 gigabyte drive that I had in stock, and I said, "Oh, look, I'll put that in there, and he's just going to do his schoolwork and stuff on there." He's got 32 gigabytes of RAM in there. He can do a later upgrade if he wants to. That's his option later on, obviously. But the problem that he was having is Windows. Well, it's just that the hard drive wasn't there, and I stuck this into my enclosure. Not my enclosure, my docking station that I have for these NVMe drives. And it came up with butkus, nothing. And there was a little red light on it too. Now, I don't know a lot about these particular brand of drives. So I'm not too sure. This one is a female friend of his, and he told me that she wanted to back up the data, but now she doesn't want to back up the data. She just wants to do a fresh reinstall of Windows 11, which is what I'm doing with her computer. And his computer, I've just put Windows 11 on there. I had to crack the back off to obviously put the new NVMe drive in, or the SSD that I had on hand at the time. And that's all right. I'm trying $125 for that, and I charged her $80 for the reinstallation of Windows and stuff like that. Mainly because it just looks like she got the same error that he did. He had this error initially, and I've seen this error on plenty of other computers. It's not always the hardware that is the issue. But this particular drive, when I tested it initially, this was about a month or two ago now, it looked okay. It looked good. I checked the percentages in Crystal Disk Info, and it looked okay. But, that's the risk you run with getting something that's very off-brand like that. I haven't even heard of this brand. So, I'm going to give that back to him anyway. I've got to screw the back on the case and stuff like that. But this was the job. I was waiting for him, and I was wondering what he wanted to do, and I said, look, I've got a drive in stock, because he didn't want to spend a massive fortune on it. Now, the other issue is, though, too, that he has a 4 terabyte in there, so if he needs extra space and stuff like that, and he wants to get a 4 terabyte later on, he can. But at the moment, I told him the prices of M.2 drives is astronomically freaking high. I'm not joking. $300 to $500 for something like that. I don't know what was paid for this originally, as it seems like an off-brand, so I don't know. But yeah, setting up Windows for him and everything else and stuff like that, and I'm going to be reinstalling Windows on her computer. She did say she wanted to back the data up, but now she's chosen not to back the data up. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, I'll do those. So I'm doing these at the moment. So that's gonna be a reinstallation of Windows. This one is almost complete. I'm just gonna put Windows and a little bit of software back on there, and screw the back case on and stuff like that. Not too hard to work on from a repair perspective, but still a little bit of work involved in getting the back off and fiddling around with things and stuff like that. I installed a new version of Windows off a USB drive, so we should be set. I don't think there's any activation required at the moment. I'm pretty sure, because I think this can either work with Windows Home or Pro. It's it's a ZBook, so it's a G, I don't know, maybe business or creative orientated or whatever, so yeah. But he's got 128 gigabytes in there. If he's just doing coding and basic schoolwork, he's not going to need anything larger than that, unless he's going for something like, really high end, or he's doing a lot of data recovery stuff, like I'm talking about actual data, like data, video editing and stuff like that. I'm not sure what GPU he's got in this system. I did send him some of the specs because he wasn't too sure on the specs. But there is 32 gigabytes of RAM in there, and now there's a hard drive in there. And for now, he may just hold on to this drive and keep it for now. But in the future, he might want to upgrade. So, that might be an option later when the M.2 prices have come down dramatically, because they are a fucking shit house at the moment, I'll be honest. But that's the lady friends of his, that's the lady's computer, that's his computer. I'm just picking it up. I'm going to give him back his other drive. It's useless anyway. I can't even get it to be recognized in Windows. It doesn't even come up as a drive at all. And I've tried it on my docking station, which I know my docking station works for these anyway, or works with these drives anyway, so yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting job this week. A few interesting jobs. He'd been back and forth messaging me about stuff, getting prices and stuff. I think in total, so I charged her $80, the lady $80 for that, and $125 for this one. And I think in total I make $205 in profit, and he's just going to pay ID it to me tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, wasn't too hard to take apart. A bit fiddly, but not bad. Not too bad taking this apart. It's okay. But yeah, that's all right. I'm just going to muck around and set up his Windows and install some freeware software on there that I normally do for clients, and just make sure it's a fresh Windows install. And this is going to be a fresh Windows install as well. As you can see, it's installing drivers at the moment, so yeah, it's doing a bunch of different stuff in the background, but that's okay. I'll leave it there for now, thank you very much. But yeah, this is just a little update on some of the stuff that I've been up to. I am still selling stuff on Gumtree, Facebook, and Marketplace, and places like that, so if you're interested in any components, please do give me a call, or a text, or through my social media or my websites or stuff like that. Just definitely get in contact, and I'll be able to probably set you up with a nice deal, realistically. Alright, thank you, and yep, that's it.